Hi guys, this is Ali, the mortgage planner and director at Noor Finance, Pty Ltd. I'm going to be on the online prosperity show. So check out this show. We're going to talk about my journey, how I decided to become a mortgage broker, and how you can scale your business if you are a new broker, and the different things you can do to make sure that you are successful.
Now, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Online Prosperity Show. I'm your host, Prosper Taruvinga, and this is the number one place we uncover exclusive insights and life-changing methods from people that are solving big problems. And I'm really excited for today's guest, Ali, who is, I think, one of the most humble people you would ever come across. With over 19 years of experience across banking, home loans, insurance, and wealth management, the guy you are about to experience is such a experienced and a very empathetic person, especially in the mortgage space. Now, Ali, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Prosper. Thanks for having me. I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am doing super, super fine. I'm really excited for what we're about to uncover in the episode today. And for those that are watching right now, if you're tired of struggling with financial strategy or maybe mortgage confusion, I want you to stick around because Ali is here with practical tools to help you gain clarity, confidence, and control. Now, Ali, as I've mentioned, has gone from being a banking veteran to a mortgage broking extraordinary. As you can tell by his jacket there that he's wearing, tuxedos are only reserved for celebrities and royalty. And he has established Noor Finance. And obviously, we're going to be covering a lot of ground as to how that came about and what it is that he is doing. And I'm really excited, for Ali's presence today, because not only is he just good at finance, but he actually sings in Urdu, and he also loves biryani and cricket. So we're going to be venturing into a little bit of his personal journey and things of that nature. Now, Ali, we could go on and talk about, your past and everything else and things of that nature. Your past has 20 years in banking, and then you went on to start Noor Finance. Maybe walk us a little bit, about that sort of journey and, when you decided, I'm going to be a banker.
Yeah, sure, Prosper. So thanks for all that detailed information. I really enjoyed, especially the biryani and the cricket and the singing part as well. It really excites me and makes me happy. In terms of my journey, I would like to say that I came to Australia back in 2001 as a student. So as a student, I studied IT from Swinburne University. So I completed my degree, working different jobs, and also focusing on my study. After that, I did my master's in applied finance from Monash University. Once I completed that, I was working with American Express, and we were going in different shopping centers selling credit cards. So it was more of a direct sales that I was doing. Following on from that, after 6 months, I was offered a role in Commonwealth Bank, which was the start of my career, and really exciting because we went through the interview process, we went through the training program, and I started in a call center in home loans department, where I learned everything about home loans, and that's where my passion from for home loans started back in 2005. So I worked there for 2 years, and then my parents actually asked me to come back and get married. So very exciting for me. and after getting married, I was in love with the country Pakistan, where I was born, and I worked there for 4 years, and getting exposure to international banks in different areas. I was working in consumer department, credit card sales. I was working as in the branch, in the sales, and finally I was working as a branch manager. um, and worked there for a couple of years. Did really enjoy the experience over there. Got married. We had our first child, um, and then we decided to move back to uh, Sydney in 2010. From there on, I worked in National Australia Bank in financial planning. Really enjoyed financial planning. We were giving advice over the phone, general advice model around insurance, superannuation, and a bit of scaled advice as well. So worked there for 3 years, and then I moved into a role in Commonwealth Bank, where I was working in the branch doing a bit of lending, and quite a lot of customer service as well. In the meantime, I did have a few other roles prior to that, like working in insurance, and then CBA Town Hall branch was the one where I really enjoyed, and my last banking role was at Rams Home Loans, and that was 2 years ago. That's where I really wanted to go to that next level, because I was feeling like that I have gained that knowledge, that experience, and it's something for me that I can take it to the next level. So 2 years ago, there was a light bulb moment for me, and that moment I decided that I want to start something for myself, because I had done my Cert IV in mortgage broking. I was really passionate about it. Generally, you don't see that passion a lot, because people get busy with lives, and it's very hard to do the education. So I had to extend my Cert for multiple times, but I got it done. Then I had to enroll in my diploma. I did that, and that was a passion that I had to help customers with different mortgage broking solutions. So last year, I left. Sorry, last year I decided December. I decided to start my own business, because of that light bulb moment I had, because I had the passion to create intergenerational wealth for my clients. And we are basically mortgage planners, and our strategy revolves around debt structuring. So that's where we specialize in. And that's when we started in December. And from there on, working as a mortgage broker.
Absolutely. And congratulations. I mean, obviously, it's not easy from where you started to all the learnings that you did, and then you still, coming out on top and things like that. But let's go back a little bit to, you arriving in Australia in 2001 as a student. I mean, obviously, there's a lot that happens when somebody leaves all everything that they have known to come to a new country, and everything would have been foreign and things of that nature. Were you prepared at all of the cultural shock, or was that something that what was it like when you arrived?
Mhm. Yeah, so it was a massive cultural shock, because living in Pakistan for 21, 22 years, I have never gone overseas. Although my parents, we've traveled all over Pakistan, our home country, but coming to Australia, like my mom, I remember she actually gave me all the different things I would need for the first 6 months, and I had like 50 kg of bag I was carrying when I was going to the airport, and then I had to make bags to make sure that everything can be taken along. So that was when I came here, obviously. But I was supported by good friends and good family, so they put me into a good spot. And also a lot of credit to my parents as well for helping me along the way, and making my journey easy. My dad has been really supportive overall as well, during my study years as well. So I was very fortunate as well. But I had very good support. So we were living as friends in units and apartments, and we moved houses after 2 years, 3 years, and the student life. You
Like,
it is challenging, but we really made it through. And I have good friend network in Melbourne now because I studied in Melbourne. Yeah, so it worked really well in the end.
Absolutely. I'm supposing you didn't come back to Melbourne because of the weather, right? Because sometimes hot, sometimes cold, and then you're like, you know what?
But I do love the sporting culture of Melbourne as well, and I have friends. So I've done 2 3 trips recently, and I love coming to Melbourne, watching the tennis, and yeah, it's a great cosmopolitan city.
Absolutely. Now, there's something that is fascinating about your past. You know, you studied IT. And obviously, with the advent of technology and things of that nature, you might not have. Did you end up using it, as a qualification, or were you now just really focusing on the speciality that you were,
Mhm.
gaining along the way?
Yeah. Yeah, so with being a solo broker, I'm heavily focused on the technology front, and I use a lot of softwares there that are AI driven. So
Right.
basically, I use a software called Middle. With Middle, we as a broker, I just send. So what it is it's a membership of $50 a month. So if I have a interaction with a client and they are happy to proceed, I will just send the link to them, and they will do everything in their spare time. So they will enter all their details about their income, their assets, their liabilities. The credit guide gets sent to them. We don't have to send it; it's auto generated. They do we So once they complete the link, it comes to me, and then I get their credit report, which is usually $30, but we get it for free. Then you have the credit guide sent to them. Then you have the consent sent to them, and it's so much easier. And you just have to export that data into our system, which is Infinity, which makes my life easier. Because if I'm a solo broker, I don't have to go through writing each client file and doing it from scratch, because client is doing that from their end. So that has made my job easier. In terms of my degree, I did it in IT back in 2001, but when I passed out from the university, I've realized that technology has changed. It was not ASP or PHP, it was .NET, and it just changed so much. And I soon I realized that I do like relationship building, and once I started doing American Express credit card, I really enjoyed the face to face customer service kind of things, and that's where I just took a different journey, and going into finance, and then moving from there on. Yeah, but I do heavily use technology right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. But obviously, you would understand. I mean, back in the time, yes, IT involved hard disk drive, floppy disk drives, and we've since migrated from that. But there's still a concept of IT, which I think is very universal. Garbage
Mm,
in, garbage out. You know, Geico,
mm,
Ego. You know what I mean? And I'm supposing you take that on, especially, when people are putting in information about the details and everything else, because that would spit out a different result if they don't do it sort of correctly. Maybe you can
mm.
elaborate on how that sort of concept you use in your day-to-day workings and helping clients get their loans.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, that's really important because data integrity is the most important thing. Even if they do enter all the details, it is my job to make sure that, we look at their passport details, we make sure that driving license details are correct. And especially when it comes to the expenditure, things like household expenditure measure, most of the time, I have seen that clients under declare a lot of the expenses. But when I look at the statements, I have a conversation, because our process is basically there is a first process where first meeting I do is needs analysis, and a discovery call. So I get a lot of information from them, and then I send the link to them. They enter the details. Once I get everything, then I have another session for lender recommendation. That's where I will go through what they have entered, what is the household expenditure per year, what we should keep it at, and it's a discussion between. But I do see a lot of that as well, like as you say, garbage in, garbage out. And even today I had one where I had to change everything, because a few of the things because they've just entered $1, $1. So I'm like, what is this $1? So I had to have a conversation. We got to it, and then yeah. So and the system is evolving as well with this middle software. They do have open banking as well. So with the open banking, you can get like 6 to 12 month statements there. They don't have to send it to you. So it's all evolving. It's a great tool. We also use another tool as well, which I heavily focus on. It's a very colorful tool. It is called Quickly. It's one of my favorites. Again, it is a $50 monthly subscription, and it actually compares different rates of different banks. So you enter data on the left hand side of the client, okay, and what they want to what loan they are wanting, and everything, and on the right hand side it will give you the result, what are the banks offering at the moment and which is the best one for the client. So if client might be after a higher borrowing capacity, so or they want a better rate, you can actually filter the search results based on that, and it's just a game changer because you can just export that data and makes it easier for you. So that's the other one that I'm using. So those are the two main softwares, and then it takes 2 hours for me to just complete the credit side of things. I do use sometimes Chat GPT as well. Some of the just to make sure not putting any client data in there, only some so writing bit of just making sure that everything is correct when we enter into the Chat GPT to get the desired result, like writing the statement of credit assistance.
Mm, absolutely. And I can only imagine, because if you're dealing with people's incomes and money expenditure and things like that, and sometimes they might not want to declare the tickets that they bought to go to a Coldplay concert, maybe in front of their spouse. Maybe you end up becoming a counselor at some point, having
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, we do have that. Like when we are doing a statement of credit assistance, there is a question that they ask: have you talked about the spending and saving habits of the client? So if they're spending, because we have the hem figure, if their spending is way above hem, then we talk about wealth creation. Have you thought about buying the next one? How we can alter in a nice way where they can understand that they need to start working on those things. Yeah. So.
Absolutely. Now, part of your sort of come up, you had an experience working with American Express, and that was you
Mm.
in sort of in a shopping environment, shopping center environment, where people may have just gone there to look for bread. And little do they know they're gonna come across somebody from, American Express, discussing their finances and things like that. How would you start a conversation like that? And the reason why I'm saying this is, even now when people are going about their day, they have a different conception of what they need to be talking about with maybe a mortgage broker about borrowing money and things like that. So there needs to be a certain skill within you to actually really start talking to people, and then they can open up to want to work with you and things like that.
Mhm. Yeah, I think back in the day, it used to be very popular, and there used to be a heavy credit card debt at that time. So with American Express, we our promotion was really amazing because we had a balance transfer back in the day for 5.99% for clients who were paying 21%. It was a lot of attraction for them to actually do a balance transfer. So basically, when with these kind of sales and marketing strategies, obviously eye contact is important. Having a smile on your face, greeting them in a nice way, dressing properly, and then obviously that handshake, and then making sure you explain the value proposition. So what they have and what you can offer them and how you can save them money. So you have to be good with numbers when you are a mortgage broker or you are in a credit card space, because if you talk about this is how much they will save, and it's in the best interest of the client, because we do have a client best interest duty that we are always making sure, because due to the recent as you are aware that due to the changes and mortgage brokers writing 78% of the business in Australia And the reason that mortgage broking has grown to that extent is because we have to abide by the client best interest duty. It's what is best for the client, and that's where the game changes, and that's where we see that growth, and it keeps growing because we can provide them with different options and different solutions, like 50 different banks. If they walk into a bank, they can only provide them what they can offer, but we can provide them with 50 different options.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for that. Now, just going back to a bit of your story, in 2005, your parents invited you back, to Pakistan, obviously, for you to go to the next stage of your life. First of all, my question is, was that a welcome invitation on your part, or how did you how did you feel? Because that meant you were gonna go and you then spent about 5 years in Pakistan there. That was also a break in what you had already started creating, sort of here in Australia. Maybe walk us through that experience for you.
Yeah, definitely. So that was the best part of my life, like especially my parents, and when they asked me to come back and get, because it's a different kind of a thing in Pakistan, because there's mostly arranged marriages. So basically, my mom had to call the marriage counselor to arrange for us to go and visit different families to see if the girl is fit for me. So we had to move. We had to go from one house to the other, like for in few months. We had that, like in the 3 4 months, we decided on who to get married, and obviously we got engaged, and after that we got to know each other, and then we got married. But it was a great experience, and yeah, and my wife has been really supportive throughout as well, throughout the whole journey, especially since I've started as a self-employed as well. And as you can appreciate, it's a different lifestyle, because I can be working at 12 o'clock at night, writing a credit proposal. And if you think that's not a life of a broker, you are in the wrong place, because that's going to happen, especially in the first 6 months, where you don't have the revenue coming. It's only expenses going. It's only after the 6 months that you start to see the settlements come through, because one loan that you're going to write today takes approximately 2 to 3 months for you to see the settlement come through. So it does take some time for the income to start come through. And once it starts to come through, then you can focus on lead generation, how you can generate the leads, and how you're not drying up that funnel. So yeah, so that's the whole, like, she's been really supportive, and yeah, it's been a great journey overall.
Absolutely. Heads off to the wives, it's because of them. Even on my part, with Angela and stuff like that. And you did mention 12 p.m. working and things of that nature. I don't know about you, but I'm working right now. This for me is also constitute work. So yeah, once you start working for yourself, it just really becomes a whole new world. But you left a steady paycheck, in all that you were doing. And that's not easy. I mean, at Rams, you're pretty
Mm,
established. You could have just maybe stayed a little bit longer and maybe you would have, yeah, just maybe stayed on
mm.
there. But obviously, you already now had kids. You had already this family. You're talking about your wife and everything that you had built. How did you manage to convince yourself that this was the right move to go?
So I did have a full-time job till 3 months ago, and I was transitioning into having the business full on, because I thought I can manage initially with both of these things, with my business running and my full-time job. But 3 months ago, I had that light bulb moment that I said to myself that, because I can only focus on one thing, you can't have two things going at the same time. I do have cash flow now to make sure that I can leave my job, and then I can focus on my work as well. So 3 months ago, I left my full time job and I decided to go full on. But what I did differently was, this time, is I actually did a lot of marketing. So I started making those short videos in our sharing a lot of information in our community groups, working on referral partners as well. So last week was very lucky for me, because I got calls from two different clients who were speaking to a referral partner. One was a real estate agent and the other was an accountant, and they are happy to proceed with their loan. And it has taken almost 6 months, but the referral partnerships, especially accountants, real estate agents, financial planners, it does work, but you just have to be consistent with that, and go and meet them, have a cup of coffee, take chocolates for them, have a chat with them, and you will see in 6 to 12 months time they will call you one day and they'll say, can you help this client? So it does take time. So if you look at the how what are the different ways of how you can market, there are generally a couple of ways how you can do it. So you either go to your friends and family. That's the first one, the people that you know. Then you make effective social media content. The third one is you go to referral partners, people you don't know. And the fourth one is you run paid ads. So this is a strategy that I've followed. There is a guy called Mr. Hermosi. He's very popular on Facebook. So that's the four strategies, and he's created a multi-million-dollar empire. He had a gym, and from there on, and he talks about it. So when I started my business, I looked at. So I've used those strategies. I haven't done too much of paid ads. I didn't have much success, but I've done a lot of the referral partnerships and going to my family and friends and referral partners. So that's how it has evolved over a period of time.
Absolutely. Be careful, you know. Soon you start having muscles like Alex and putting your sleeping.
Oh, you've seen him. That's great. Okay. Yeah.
You just start walking around. But I'm supposing now you're in a whole different place. I mean, now that you're doing work for yourself, you're now at least able to spend time with family. How does it feel? Maybe after 2 decades of corporate life, when you can now hold your own schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I've learned a lot in corporate life. I've learned a lot about discipline. I've learned a lot about compliance, and that's a strong thing that I have learned from my managers, people I've worked with. Camaraderie. I've learned about how to work in a team. That's really important. I think having my own business now, it's basically you are managing everything yourself. So you basically control the flow of work. You can have as a self-employed individual. If you look at Robert Kiyosaki, he talks about four quadrants. So he talks about self-employed people, he talks about investors, he talks about business owners, and he and employees as well. So when you are a business owner, you have that ability to schedule your own holidays. So you could be 6 weeks away, but your business is still running because you can be overseas and still managing things, and you can have that holiday as well. I think it's worked really well because I can give more time to myself. I get a better sleep because before I was rushing at 6 in the morning. So that pattern has changed. So I wake up a bit late, but I'm more relaxed. And yeah, overall my health has also improved. So there's a lot of benefits as well. And then you are also partnering with BDMs, with wonderful people like yourself. Then talking to the website guy who, my website is not working. So it's like a full show, and you have control of everything. Yeah, and there is a lot of support available. I have to mention it would not have been possible, obviously, the aggregation team that I have, a vision aggregation, they have just made it so simple for us. My mentor, Dave Lennox, Hima as well. They are the two people, and then Helen. They make it so easy for me. So what I do is, as a broker for the first 2 years, you are under a mentor program. So under the mentor program, they actually review your files. and then you can lodge it to the lender, and they train you, they coach you, and they make sure that by 2 years you are full ready to go. So that's the whole way how it has helped me
Mm.
in the journey.
Absolutely. Is that the reason why you now have time to sing in Urdu and your daughter is always laughing all the time when you do that?
Yeah, even on, I remember on my reception, I actually sang a sang song as well. That was in Urdu as well, and my daughter is learning Urdu, so she's starting to speak some words. It's so cute, and because when she goes to Pakistan, the grandparents would love if she talks a bit of Urdu. Communicate with your cousins, and yeah, so it's really really good.
Absolutely. You see, the reason why I'm bringing this up is once you bring your fun loving self to the work that you're doing, it also shows in the results that your clients actually have. Because when you start talking about mortgages, lending, and debt,
Mhm.
that in and of itself is a very hard subject for a lot of people, you know what I mean? So if you're going to be showing up in that happy go lucky sort of personality, people will be at ease when they're dealing with
Mhm.
you. But you know a lot of people say mortgages are just cut and dry. They're just transactions where you're having to make sure that paperwork gets filed, you lodge the loan, and
Mm.
you wait for settlement. What's a big misconception that maybe you'd like to debunk about maybe how you've now entered into this and how you're making it different, especially for the clients that you're working with?
Mm. I think with the evolution of technology and how mortgage broking is changing and how we are actually interacting with our clients, it's making things a lot easier because with the way how I actually work with my clients, I actually set up teams meeting, and then we have the needs analysis where they can ask multiple questions. Gives me the opportunity to build that strong rapport with them. I even invite the whole, like the missus as well, uh, and the husband, both of them can ask that question so they can feel at ease as well. And it's an open communication channel, so if they want to contact me, I'm available on the call. They can ask me questions. Once that is done, the next step is end of the week I will do a lender recommendation and provide them with the solution. And it's again open channel where they can ask any questions. I do have a WhatsApp group as well where I add my clients to that WhatsApp group if they're happy to be part of that. We do have a Facebook group as well. We have a company website as well. On the company website we do have a box where they can leave their details and we can contact them. We are really responsive within 24 hours. So those are the things we are trying to make it um, uh, very interactive. And also on my social media I'm regularly posting stuff as well, to make sure they are up to date and with all the information.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you're making a huge difference out there because so many people, as you would know, the stats say not a lot of people get into the property market, let alone go to property one, two, or three, or four. It's just because it's just been made so difficult,
Mm,
for people to engage. But if there's like a looser way for people to connect, like you say, WhatsApp group, and it's like a whole combination of other things, I think that's a great thing. So if somebody's watching this right now, Ali, and they're thinking, wow, I think what Ali does is a little bit different at Noor Finance, how can they get a hold of you? Maybe, maybe on your Facebook or LinkedIn, or where can they go on the internet?
yeah, so the best way to do is contact me via WhatsApp or give me a call. My number is 0411 963365. They can call me, um, and send me a message on WhatsApp. Even they can send a message on my website as well. So we have a very active website, so they can leave their contact details and we can contact them within 24 hours, and help them with their questions. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll definitely
Yeah,
make
I
sure.
do have a TikTok account. I do have an Insta account, LinkedIn as well. So I'm on social media. All the platforms are open.
Absolutely. I'll definitely make sure that all these links and numbers are in the show notes. That way people can continue this
Mhm.
conversation with them. Now, you know, the way that you have now set up your life, you're playing cricket, or your interest is cricket, and you may be in the
Mhm.
kitchen making biryani. How do these passions sort of fuel your daily grind and mental reset?
Yeah, it's really good, and I'm trying to fit in. We do have a social cricket club as well, so we play every Sunday for 2 hours, which is again a game changer. I do try to do a 5 kilometer morning walk every day, if the weather allows, and if it's not that cold, I probably try to get the time in the afternoon, and if it's too cold, and go for that 5 kilometer walk around. And yeah, so that's and especially looking at things like dropping kids to school. um, that's worked really well. Going to important appointments, taking my son for to soccer. So that's something that I can do with my time now, and I can work around it and make sure that I can work at different other times to fill the gap.
Absolutely. Well, obviously we've gone through, your past and what it is that you're doing now, but what's next for Noor Finance? I mean, what's the next milestone, and what other things should we start celebrating for you in advance that you're gonna be doing for in the future?
Yeah. So Prosper, the next thing is obviously to scale the business. So to do that, obviously, my initial target was around 4 million settlements every month. So I've decided to scale that up to 6 million. So first 2 years, I'm going to grind and make sure that I get the strong knowledge and experience behind my back. And after 2 years, I'm going to look at hiring someone onshore or offshore. We will have the option open at that time what we would like to do, but that's definitely on the cards to hire someone so I can focus more on the. So that will be more of an engine room, and I'll be the lead broker, and getting the business into the company, and then the processing will be done by that loan processor, and they can take over settlements, they can take over the more credit proposal side of things, and I will be doing more of the marketing and initial meeting, and then letting the team know what sort of products are there, and which way we are going to be going. Because the main thing is, once you meet the client, to decide which way we're going to go, which bank we are going to take this application. So we decide on that, and they do all the processing. That way I can focus on the new business side more, and we have a team who can actually do the processing.
Absolutely. Well, Ali, I can't thank you enough for the time that we spent on the call today. I mean, your life story and your experience have so much value, and it really informs the kind of person and the man that you have become. So, thank you so much for sharing this journey with us today.
Thank you so much, Prosper, for your time.
Absolutely.
I'm
Now,
really grateful for having me.
absolutely. Thank you so much. For those that are watching right now, if you are ready to follow your own path of autonomy, clarity, and a thriving business, I think you can learn from what Ali has done, and how he's creating a business that's actually profitable and enjoyable. So be sure to check out noorfinance.com.au, or call him on the numbers that I will put in the show notes there. And Ali is definitely ready to answer your questions and help you get started on your journey. So if you stumbled upon this show, just please subscribe so that you don't miss out on informative conversations like this. And Ali, thank you so much once again for being such an amicable guest. And for those that are watching right now, thank you so much for tuning in too, because now you're a part of a journey towards prosperity, purpose, and possibility. Until next time, bye for now.